There we go. Hello all. So welcome to well, it is January, although I'm filming in the first little bit of February, so apologies for that all. My delivery got stuck and I needed it to fulfill all of your kit. Well, more my kit than anything, but hey ho, we've got it now. So this month is using the Dandy Designs, what's it called, Claire? Come on, Designer Series paper. And I've kind of fallen in love with this. And it's celebration paper. So we've only got it for another month. And then it gets to say, we get to say goodbye to it. It's with a £90 order. But it's huge and got so much in it. So I've also teamed it with the framed florets just because it's rude not to. So this is card number 1 of your kit, and it's this little fun fold. So lots, well, not so much that you'll need for this one. So you'll need this piece of card in your kit. Forgive me, I had to cut it for you because I needed to emboss this piece. I could have just embossed on top of it, sent you a sheet of embossed, but I always find if you cut embossed paper, you tend to get jagged edges and things, and I didn't want that. You've also got the other piece of your card, or should have, in your kit. Somebody's got 2 because I've just had to cut, I've had to guess, and I've clearly guessed the sizing wrong because there's a smidgy bit of a gap in mine. So somebody's got 2 of these. Someone's got my one coming as well. I've used this spotty side. That would coordinate as well. It's entirely up to you. So these are the ones that I suggested because they're the ones I've used in my designs. But as always, it's entirely up to you. So the silly girl that I am has only bought one stamping block over, so bear with me. We're going to need a few, I think. One of those. Another long one in there. That'll do for the minute. We'll have some of those as well. Okay, so I used the cut and emboss machine to cut mine out, but I'm aware that not everybody has the dies. So what I will do, well, let's not use that side, it's got ink on it. I need to clean my blocks clearly, is I will fussy cut them. The only ink colour I've used is Memento Black, and I've used my watercolour pencils, but again, you can use anything to colour the stamps. You may not even be colouring your stamps if you're not using the framed florets. So this is quite an easy start. We need to burnish this bit of card because I wouldn't have done that as it was going through. We've got this piece. We're going to need some of the basic white that you've got in your kit. And what I'd suggest doing is, because there's parts where we're going to cut this, so I've cut this at 10 centimetres on the portrait. And then, because actually I think this is 10.5, so that would work out quite nicely actually, yes. Then I'm going to 6.5, yes. So you're going to want to then cut this to 6.5. That will give you the piece that will go on the front of your card there. And then for the inner, let's just measure this one because I'm not overly sure. I can't remember. I think it may be the same. 10 by 7. So if you now trim a 7 centimetre piece of this, and that will go on the bottom half of here in a minute. So we need to find our bit up here whilst we've got the trimmer out and we're doing all of that. And again, I think that's 7 by 10. No, I lied. It's 6.5 by 10. Doing lots of line already today. So I'm literally going to chop a 6.5 centimetre piece there. By 10. You're going to need your piece of white back in a minute because you're going to need to do some stamping. But for now, we can put these two elements together purely because you don't want to mix up these two pieces of white. And I've just used Tombow. It's a brand new one, so hopefully we're going to be all right. So you're going to want a nice little border up here. I'm not going to lie, ladies and gents, we're probably not going to get a February kit purely because work has gone, well, my day job has gone a little bit crazy at the minute. And that with my coursework currently, and then trying to be a mummy as well, has meant that everything's needing a bit more balance currently. But I certainly will need to start posting a lot more things so that I can at least still be seen that way, hey? So this one, we've used the Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. I think it's a really cute sentiment. And then it's a case of, sorry, I'm going to try and do this with the camera over my head. If it's not straight, it's not straight. I will quite happily suck it up for the day. I'll take that. That's not too bad. And then, whilst we've got the ink out, if you bring back your piece of card, the white, sorry, I used this little garland. And then, did I use some sprigs? I did. Let's get them as well. So we've got to construct this piece on here. So what I did do was stamp in the top half, knowing that I was going to put the garland. Oh, sorry, I've just noticed we've changed the lighting in our lounge, which is where I tend to film of an evening. And it looks fairly dark. I don't know if I can bring that one in a bit more, if it'll make any difference. I will try and have a play about before the next one comes on. So then what I did, ooh, she says, good old dimensionals are out. So this goes, and you only want to put them, so on this bottom half of your panel. So that's going to go down here. So what I would suggest is loading that part up. If we put them, there we go, side by side, and it'll give us a bit more indication of where we're going. Oh, she says as she's moving everything around. It's not the best, but it'll do, hey? I've just realised I haven't put the do not disturb on my phone, so hopefully nobody decides to ring. Because that's normally one of the first things I do. Out of practice where I had December off. There we go. So that's nicely hidden there. Okay. So the beauty of watercolour pencils is that you can use them as they are, or I like to use our blender pens with them. But again, you don't even have to do that. pinks and purples. Generally my go-to, and I'll layer them up. That'll do us for now. I'm not trying to create a masterpiece, are you, Colette? Come on. So, and this will be rough colouring, I'm afraid, because you don't really want to be watching me colour. But if I can show you with the blender pen how we can layer it up, it'll be worth it. And if you're colouring generally on something hard, you'll get the lines with it as well, which sometimes does you a favour for some texture. Thought I'd use the wrong stamp for a minute, but I think we're okay. There we go. Hope you're all well and enjoying Celebration. You have to let me know what your favourites have been so far. Mine have definitely been these papers. I think I'm on my third packet. Although one's been used for this, so I should probably say I've had two. I've not finished the second one yet. Let's give these the odd little bit, and then we can shove some other greens in just to liven them up a bit. You'll see there's nothing fancy. Oh, I've missed a flower about this colouring, I'm afraid. Greens. Let's have some more green. I tend to try and different types of leaves, different types of green. It doesn't always work. And sometimes it really doesn't work. Could do with a third green out. I probably had one for that, but haven't got one out at the moment. Never mind. We'll survive. And then if you wanted to, oh, I've just seen I've missed one. There we go. These, you can just run over the top to blend it all in. I don't know if it's very clear, but you want to do all of the same colours kind of together, just in case the ink runs a little bit. You don't have to do this, you could just leave it as the colouring pencils. It's entirely up to you. Sometimes I think it just helps bring it to life a little bit more. And if you're mixing it amongst the greens, it kind of adds to that depth of colour a little bit. That'll do us. It was never going to be Picasso. Where's my snips? Here we go. So, oh. So the idea is to move your paper rather than your snips. Sorry, I've just realised I'm not actually even on the screen. I had started your kits with one set of embellishments and then changed them. Actually, I think it was this card that made me change them. So you've got two little strips of two different embellishments rather than just the one. It's definitely, don't normally make this many, do we, in a kit, but had to be done once I'd seen the papers. So this is going to be a real rough cut. If you've got the dies, they are there to be used. But I know one of my ladies said I often use the dies, and she feels that she can't always get the most out of her stamps. So I am fussy cutting for you, my lovely. I thought I'd missed another set of leaves then, but I haven't. I've got a piece of glue on my snips, which means somebody has used them. I'm wondering if my hubby has used them to open a parcel or something. As much as it's been forbidden, you never know what they're up to when you're not about. So we are nearly there. Promise. So this will look slightly different purely because the colouring's different as well. That, and it's been fussy cut rather than die cut, so that's always gonna add a slight change to the appearance. But you get the idea and the gist of where we were going. There with the card. There we go. And then we'll have some sprigs. Oh, they don't go right the way down there. Right, okay. That's where my fussy cutting would normally take over, and I'd be right down the edges. I'm going to try and be a good girl and stick as close to the original as I can. Oh, there we go. There's one and the other. So hopefully the post wasn't too bad this time round, getting them all to, well, for those that were posted. That was the main reason why I didn't bother towards a November and December one. With all the postal strikes, I thought it was just going to be a lot more stress than was needed for everybody, of waiting for a parcel and all them going missing. We've had lots of post go missing. We were still getting Christmas cards up until the end of January where they'd been lost in the abyss. So hopefully everything's caught up now. So this is going to need a couple of pads on the back of here. Dimensional, sorry. Should say sorry again, shouldn't I really, just for whacking the stand. And I put that down the bottom here. And some wet glue. And I had a sprig. I just literally put it on the stem. A sprig coming out of the top. You can flower arrange however you like. If not bought one, take a pick over. Sucked clip. And then I used the butterflies that are in with your kit. I love these brass butterflies. Oh, and that's why you use a take your pick collector, not your snips, because you're just cutting it through. Oh. And truth be told, that's probably what's happened to my snips in real life. I've used them for self-adhesive embellishments. Not a girl. Right. So, there you have your original and card number 1 of our kit finished.